After the debut of The Lincoln Lawyer Season 3, the show's co-showrunner, Daylin Rodriguez, spoke with Screen Rant about Eddie's death and Lorna's job while teasing Mickey's attitude going into his Season 4 murder trial. Based on the eponymous book series by Michael Connelly, The Lincoln Lawyer follows Mickey Haller, Manuel Garcia-Rulfo, an LA defense attorney known for working out of the back of his car, as he takes on challenging cases. Throughout Season 3, Mickey's biggest case is the trial against Julian Larcos for the murder of Glory Days, Mickey's former friend and client. Following its October 17 debut, The Lincoln Lawyer Season 3 became a hit on Netflix, gaining 7 million views within the first 4 days, via Variety, and hitting the top 10 list. The court drama's success is thanks to the Lincoln Lawyer's strong characters, unpredictable storyline, and perfect pacing. While some credit must go to the best-selling author who developed the world and many characters, showrunners Daylin Rodriguez and Ted Humphrey also work hard to adapt the stories for the silver screen. Both Humphrey and Rodriguez have extensive backgrounds in Hollywood, working as writers, producers, and showrunners. Humphrey previously served as the showrunner on Incorporated from 2016 to 2017 and Wisdom of the Crowd from 2017 to 2018. In addition to writing for Ugly Betty, starring America Ferrera, Rodriguez notably served as the showrunner and co-executive producer on the crime drama Queen of the South from 2017 to 2021. While waiting for updates on the renewal status of The Lincoln Lawyer Season 4, Screen Rant interviewed Daylin Rodriguez about multiple parts of the show, including her process of adapting the novels, her experience writing a Latinx story, and what to expect if Netflix picks the show up for another season. Though she remained tight-lipped about spoilers, Rodriguez happily teased exciting things to come. Daylin Rodriguez, we do a couple things. One is we make sure that we sort of look at the book holistically when it was written and when we're adapting it. So, for example, in Season 2, in that book, which was The Fifth Witness, it took place right in 2008 during the housing crisis. We couldn't replicate that. So, we tried to find a thing that sort of felt comparable and sort of kept the essence of what that was, and that's why we came up with the whole idea of gentrification and a developer. So, we kept it in the world of real estate and the same kind of stakes of something like that. But that's how we sort of adapted that. The good news about The Gods of Guilt, which was Season 3, is that one felt less of a time. That one felt more specific. Even though at the end of The Law of Innocence, the pandemic starts rearing ahead towards the end of the book. So, we sort of went away from that. Which doesn't matter, you don't really need it. The things that we have to change is because his books have big time jumps between them, and we do these cliffhanger. So, we start up pretty quickly. So, certain things we have to change that make sense to sort of adapt them in a more present time. For example, in the book, Haley is not speaking to Mickey because of something completely unrelated. Something happens before the book when he has a case and there's a DUI and a guy gets out because he helps him get out, and that guy ends up killing somebody that's the mother of a friend of hers. So that's why you kept talking to him. So we want to keep the essence of her not talking to him anymore. So, we change it to be able to keep that part of the book, but make it more integral to how we're breaking the story. So, that's sort of how we changed it. And also, we had to change certain things. We had to sort of reinvent the detective character and make him this new character to an extent. We couldn't use Langford because of the way they had to use Langford in Season 1. So certain things we just have to shift, but our challenge is to keep as much as we can of Michael's books, and if we can't, we at least want to keep the spirit of what was in Michael's books, if that makes sense. Daylin Rodriguez, it's one of my favorite things about the show is that we're able to tell not only a story about Mickey Haller being Latino and living in LA, but LA being a very Latinx city. It's almost 50% Latino. And so, to me, it was very important, and we do it a lot in Season 2. We also do it in Season 3 because Michael Irby is Afro-Latino and Yaya is Afro-Latina, and we have other characters that are Latino on the show. To me, it's very important that we show all aspects of Latinos and embrace that part of LA and not just Mexican. Everybody lives in LA, and whether they speak Spanish or they don't speak Spanish, or they have an accent, or they don't have an accent, do you know what I mean? All of it, because we're not a monolith. So to me, absolutely, and it's really important to me to have him be this professional, extremely good at his job, smart man in Los Angeles and still keep, we call it Latinidad. His Latinness is so intact, but it's not all that he is. He's so much more than that. So, to me, it's the way I feel like it's the best way to sort of move forward in the way that we tell Latin stories. We're just part of the American fabric, and we move through these communities in a specific way, but still as Americans. Daylin Rodriguez, you and everybody else seems really excited about this. So yeah, Season 4 is The Law of Innocence, and she's his partner. So, this is the most stressful, biggest case of all their lives. And she's a green lawyer. She's green. So it's just figuring out how much she can take on, what place she has in the role of co-counseling with him, and also keeping the business afloat while he can't take any other clients in jail. You know what I mean? I think that you're going to see a Lorna that has a lot of balls in the air and trying her best to keep all of those balls in the air and be successful at it. I think that's where we're going with her.